Before filming this video, you're going to notice that I'm going to bounce back and forth between the red and the blue car. I originally filmed it with the blue car, and I didn't like some of the footage, so I redid a lot of it with the red car, so you'll be seeing a color change. Let's get started. I'm going to be doing what people call the Harley fog light mod to get rid of the stock, kind of ugly looking factory fog lights that aren't very bright. Right now I just have blackout covers on there. Now I've already done the mod to my blue Trans Am here. I have 120mm halos around them. You have 3 Cree LEDs, 30 watts a piece, and they're really, really bright. They look cool. They come smoked or chrome. So here's the box here. For $34, you get 2 of these guys. So I got the smoked version. Now you can actually get these with a halo built in behind the lens that's white for a running light. One benefit too is when you mount these is the factory plug is the same. They give you a little pigtail here. You don't need it because this part right here will plug into the factory wiring. So that makes it simple. No soldering involved, no cutting wires. Now you do have to remove the factory fog lights, of course, and modify the bracket. You're going to need to be able to tap a thread, which is not hard to do, and have a cutting wheel or something to cut the bracket to fit the new fog lights. I'm going to show you all in the video how to do it. Now, I didn't get the ones with the halo that's built in the fog light for a reason, because I don't want to just have white halos driving. I want to have them, but I want to have more. On both my cars, I have colored halos, for running lights for car shows. My red car, I have red ones, and the blue car, I have blue ones right now on there. I'm going to be changing these out. So what I found instead, to get the best of both worlds, is I have these Morimoto 120mm halos that are multicolored, and they are perfect for this application. Number one, they fit around the halo as good as you they fit around the fog light as good as you possibly can. I mean, they're like they're made for it. There's a nice lip there. It fits around the plastic glass look. Nice and secure. They have little holes here, if you can barely see it, so you can put fishing line, strap it to the bracket when it's all done. I wish I could smoke them out. I kind of don't want to have them white, but it is what it is. I can live with that because when the car is running, they're going to be white. So what's cool about these is now to get them to work, you need their XBT Bluetooth controller to hook up with your phone, Android or iPhone. So every time you power them on, they always turn on white because they know you want to use it as a driving light. And then they also have what they call their turn signal interrupt wire. So if you hook this to your turn signal, they'll turn amber and flash with your turn signal. And then you have the phone app where you can do red, blue, green, any color you want. You can do fading. It's pretty cool. I mean, so I'll be able to have red for my car show in this car, white for a driving light, and amber for a turn signal light. So the first step, and get the car off the ground, and I'll show you how easy it is to get these factory fog lights out. So going under the car in the front, to get to your fog lights, you have to remove these 3 plastic clips. I already took one out. Let me grab it here. And there it is. It's pretty simple. This little plunge here kind of pulls out first, and then you remove the entire clip. So I'll show you with my tool here. I just kind of pull down and pull it out. So this is the part I just removed the clips. This will just pull right down, and under here you have your fog light. Take your 2 bolts out, 10mm each, and it will not slide out the front unless you take the fog light off the bracket. So you have these 2 clips you can see right there. Same concept as the ones we removed. You have to push the center out, and then you can remove the entire clip. They're just plastic. I mean, if you want, you can break them and cut them because you're not going to reuse them anyway. Once those 2 clips are out, I got cheapy halos in this guy. You have to remove that Phillips screw right there. All right, I got one out. There's my halo on top. I got it out of the car. I did not have to take the front bumper off like a lot of people think, but it is tricky. So what you have to do, now on top here you have your adjustment screw for the height. You basically want to unscrew this all the way. And then you have to go under the car again where you removed the 2 bolts holding the bracket here. And you're going to have, flip it over here. So basically the fog light mounts in these 2 back holes, and this clip here is exactly like the clips that I showed you under the car. So when the fog light's in there, this is squeezed and it goes in the hole, and once that's pushed all the way, then you push the center down. So to remove it, it's a little more difficult. What I had to do is I took a flathead screwdriver, grab one here, and I pushed the center back out from underneath the car until it looked pretty much like that. And then I took a pair of wire cutters and I basically grabbed this light pressure don't cut it in half because it's plastic. And I just pulled that out, and then I was able to take my wire cutters here and remove the center just like that. And then you just flip around to the other side. I tried originally doing it from the front of the car, but then there's a chance you're going to scratch the hell out of the inside of that little hole right there. And from under the car, it actually really wasn't that bad. Okay, so the bracket is out. Have to do two modifications. One, I have to drill 2 holes, and number 2, I have to cut this top piece off right here. So I'm going to make a straight cut with my Dremel across here, and then I can actually assemble the whole light and slide it back in without having to do install inside the thing. Number 2 is I have to actually drill some holes. Now I made a couple X marks the spot on both sides. Some people actually mount them really deep. They try to mount them with the original holes. That's kind of hard to do, and that sets the new fog light pretty deep because they're a little thinner. I like mine farther out, mainly because I always run those blackout covers, and they do kind of scratch up farther back. So the way I got my center here is when you put the fog light, the original one, back in, I'm trying to find the center point. Center point is going to be where the light bulb, the original stock light bulb, twists in. So I figured that centers the light. If you want measurements, from the top down is about 13/16, and from the front back, I'm doing 1/2 inch. Again, that part is up to you. You don't have to go 1/2 inch in. Let me cut the bracket off now and drill the holes. All right, here's the bracket modified. I cut the top, drilled my holes on the side, and then here is the new fog light. As you see, I drilled and tapped threads. I used M5 threads. You can use standard size if you want. I just use M5 because I have a lot of metric stuff. And to center it on here, I centered the hole. If you look at this line going back and forth, that's perfect center. So you can get your fog light nice and center. So now to mount it, like I said, I tapped M5 threads. I have a 25mm long stainless M5 Allen bolt. 20mm barely reaches. 25 is definitely better because then you can put a washer on the outside. And then in between, I have a 1/4 inch plastic standoff. So here it is put together. I use 1/2 inch spacers, or I said 1/4 inch. 2 washers with the 25mm long M5 bolt that I tapped, and I put this door edge guard around the edge. So when I tighten it down, this thing is solid, it's not going to droop, and it's going to stay exactly where I want it. Here it is installed, exactly where I wanted it. I have a nice gap, so that way my halo fits around it. Perfect. This is just the fog lights. They are really, really bright. I love these things. And then, of course, when I turn my 55-watt HID headlights on, it gets even brighter. So, very cool product. So here are the many modes. This is just car show mode. I have them turned on red, solid. I can flash, I can strobe, I can do any color I want, blue, purple, whatever. This is the running light. Whenever you power them on, they turn white. Nice, solid glow. Very cool. So that way, if you left it in car show mode, it'll always go back to white. Here is turn signal mode. I hooked up the turn signal interrupt wire. So nice amber color. The camera makes it look red, but it is very amber in person. Alright, next mode is headlights on. I have my 70mm halo on my high beam fog lights. And then the new fog light is on. It actually almost looks like an eye with the halo around and then the 3 in the middle from the distance. It looks really cool in person. And finally, the 5th mode, turn signals with the headlights on. So when the headlights are on, I wired it so the halos don't flash because I don't need that flashing, and that flashing. It's a little overkill. You know, that's enough effect. And they just stay on white when the headlights are down, then they will flash. So I did not cover the wiring of the halos. That's really based on preference and how you want it to work. The easiest way, if you just want to do amber for turn signal and white for running light, is to buy their switchback one that doesn't have the multicolor with the Bluetooth control. It'll be a lot cheaper. And just tap it into the 3 wires of your side turn signal because they are a running light and they're a turn signal. So there's 3 wires going to it. Black, of course, is your ground, and I can't remember the other 2 colors, but you'll figure it out by a process of elimination, which one is the running light and which one is your turn signal, and boom. Super easy. Run the wire from there to there, and you're done. If you want to do like I did and had the Bluetooth controller With the multicolors for car shows, well, then you're going to have to get a little more creative with the wiring and have a wire coming from a toggle switch from the interior, and then, you know, do a few other little things. So that is the end of this video. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment or send me an email, and I'll try to help you the best I can. It overall was not too difficult. Only took about, the fog light on its own was only about 45 minutes per side. It's pretty fast. If you go with the halo thing, then it's going to take a little more time. And one note on the halos is I did not use the little tabs I showed that you can put wire through. I just used a little RTV silicone, and it holds it on really nice. The problem is the little holes were actually filled with solder, so I couldn't get any fishing line through them anyway. So that's the video. Thank you for watching.